Welcome back to my Space Haven Alpha 17 Let's Play. I'm quite handsome, and this is just learning the system to try and figure out how to play the game. Last time we were moving all the materials over to our new freshly created spaceship, and we'll be continuing that. Hopefully by the end of this episode we'll be able to leave the mining station. Okay, let's get started just so everything comes back to life, and I will show you how to save a little bit of money leaving the mining station. We've got 3 hangars here. We need to move pods into or create pods from. If we tried from this and to create a mining pod or a construction pod, you can see it would cost us resources. However, this mining station that we will be abandoning already has these pods. So let's go and move them over. We click the hangar, select one we want to put it into, and move it over. In case you missed that because it was kind of quick, go select the hangar, not the pod itself, but the hangar, and we can then hit relocate. So I'm just going to check the names real quick. Ethidus and Sable. I want Sable. Way easier to say. So relocate. Click the pod we want to move it to. Hit accept. Come back down. Go to the next pod. Relocate. We want the mining one. Click and accept. And there we go. Now the crew will fly over to the mining station, jump in the pods, and fly them back over here to our ship, and they will then be part of our ship. This saved us a little bit of money, which we needed. The next thing, yes, we are still waiting on hull blocks. We need those so that we can move over our shuttles. I know that there is enough room for a second shuttle here. I'm gonna go and cancel it at this point, unfortunately. It's probably not worth it. I need hull blocks very, very badly to continue expanding our ship. So that will be the focus. What is wrong? Apparently we have an unconscious worker. Not sure what happened to them. They're now unconscious. Conditions knocked unconscious. Okay. Messed up. Whatever they did, perhaps they got hurt in the activity or someone else thumped them over the head. Who knows? But after a while, Lenora will wake up. So it's just Bruce wandering around the ship by himself right now. Let's turn the walls down again. And he is taking a break. There you go, Bruce. Just take a break. Take a load off. One of the things I'm curious about is if you go to this sketch, you can see we have sketched out this whole ship at this point. Well, half the ship at least. I want to turn this into a more industrial zone over here, but it's not built yet. If we go to activate sketch, and we can see right now cost to activate is 0. If I drag this down, they're telling me it's 10.7 to activate. Well, I don't have hardly any of these blocks, but it's good to know how much it would be to activate. Why don't I go and start? I'm going to build a little tunnel down here and over here, and eventually I'll place my recycler here. But I'm going to do it very slowly, just a few blocks at a time, to see how far I can get before we have to jump to the next system. As I mentioned before, we are short on hull blocks. There are none here, there are none here. There is, however, hull scrap, and over here we have rather a lot of hull scrap. I can send all of the hull scrap back over to the mining station, and that will give us, hopefully, the ability to convert it all in the recycler back to hull blocks. We'll take the hull scrap, all of it, and turn it into hull blocks. So that will be the task right now. That's what we're going to focus to try and dig ourselves out of this hole of hull blocks that we have. So let's hit fast forward and just see what we're able to do. It looks like our people doing research and doing logistics, probably moving the scrap over so that the shuttles can come and pick it up and move it back to the mining facility. So this is hopefully progressing us. There's no one over here actually turning that into anything useful yet, but they're getting the resources here first. Yeah, here's all the hull scrap building up. If we come over here, remember we shut off the two producers. There's still plenty of oxygen here, and in fact, if I click on this, you can see there's still water there. So it'll continue to produce O2, giving our workers the ability to work over here in the oxygen and run and fix the recycler, which you can see is already producing hull blocks. So while we're working on that task, we can see they have started to expand the ship this direction. While I'm activating the sketch, I'm realizing the tunnels or the walkways over one from where I want it. I really want it right here, so I will start expanding it this way, and I'm just going to assume that I will actually be able to recycle enough to make this work. I think it's a 3. That should be enough to get the recycler started. So, with this little outcropping, look at that. Look at all this water vapor. I need to get rid of that. Let's come down here, back down to resource, grab a water collector, and let's just throw this can we put this for now? We're going to stick it right here. And immediately go built water collector. And if we check it, it's probably running at 100% right now. Yep, 100%. If we check, our water vapor was climbing, was up at 13, it's dropping down to 10. Okay. And we can see the facility, or the space for the recycler has been built. I misgauged how big a space I needed, so I need to get a little bit more. That's okay. Activate sketch. I think if I do that, we will have enough room for the recycler. And because the recycler A spits out hazardous gases and also spits out a lot of heat, we're going to do a thermal regulator, trying to cool this off. And I would like a scrubber over here as well. So I don't know if I should, but I'm going to activate the sketch a little bit more over here and put a scrubber in place. Now, we should have no problem then actually building it and running it. This is day 17 of the crew leaving the mining station. I have never managed to leave this mining station in under 2 weeks. This doesn't look like it will be any sort of exception. That's okay. I'm still chugging away. I'm gonna come over here and I am going to stop the logistics on this construction. They don't need to continue with the hull blocks as they're likely to just be wasted at this point. I wonder if I can shut down these. I'm going to stop them, and I'm going to see if I can use up that last bit of hull blocks that are part of that mining pod. So what I'm trying to do is, if we look here, we click on this, it says there's 0.8 of the hull blocks remaining there. And since I won't be taking that pod with me, I might as well try and burn that if I can. So we're going to activate sketch. I'm going to build out this area. Now I shut off these 2 mining pods, supposedly. So they shouldn't fly them, but they'll go in, or construction pods. They shouldn't fly these construction pods, they'll go grab the other one, hopefully try and fly it over here, and with that we will burn up what's left of the hull block. Okay, another thing that I have just noticed is these take infra blocks. I need 3 over here. I have 0 on this ship and 0 on this ship, so I need to build some infra blocks. I'm going to turn on logistics and turn on, well, let's turn off the logistics here. Let's see if we can build an infra block. In order to build 5, I need 1 steel and 1 electronic component. Let's see if I have any of that. I think that I do. If I come here, I have steel, plenty, and I have electronic components. So I'm going to transfer that back. 1 steel, 1 electronic component. You know what? I'm going to do all 4 electronic components. Going to go crazy here. One of the things I'm going to do here is I'm not going to allow it to auto-resource anymore. So it will just have whatever I send over. Select all. And at this point, I'm going to pass everything that I don't want here back over to the ship. So send everything back. It's sending over 3, it's bringing over 4 of the steel, that's fine. Bringing over 4 of this, that's send on all the hull block, that's going to continuously run. And I'm going to throw this infra block on continuous. I believe I'll end up with 20 infra blocks at the end of this, which should be enough to actually build out this area that I need. Oh. Okay. I'm going to relocate this pod over to this hangar because there's 0.6 of a hull block there. Once they do that, I believe they can start using that for construction of the ship. And then I'll move it over here after that and try and use the last bit of that as well. So now there's 0 of it. The construction pod absorbed the 0.6 of a hull block and it's building as much as it can with that, which was a little bit, wasn't nothing. If we look at it, now it's got none left. We'll relocate it over here. And they did. They now have nothing left in the inventory over there, and they used it to expand this out a little bit more. I'm going to activate some more of the sketch just to make sure I get everything. Every last drop of goodness out of what that pod has to offer. I think that's probably it at this point. The other thing I bet I can do at this point, objects, if we go to airlock, we might be able to get that shuttle still. That second shuttle. It's gonna be close, but I'm going to try. I only need 1 hull block and 2 infra blocks. We are making the infra blocks, and the hull blocks are also being made in the recycler. So we can see they're still pulling scrap over. Did we turn logistics off here? We turned logistics off and stopped it. So if we start it, this will allow the industry folks to go and start bringing the supplies over and start making the infra blocks. If we zoom out, we can see when we go to transfer stuff from the mining station, there is stuff to transfer. And we're going to transfer that. See if this goes. High thermal radiation, oh, that's fine. We can see Lenora's doing her work, apparently keeps having accidents over here. But she is increasing in industry. She will be level 3 industry soon, hopefully. And we need to continue moving her industry skill up to get to industry level 5 so she can make our hyperfuel. So still focusing on her. No one else is doing any industry stuff yet. And she is doing it all. I also could have ran the recycler to try and convert the infra scrap into infra blocks, but I can do that with my recycler later. I'm not going to have the other machinery right away that allows me to turn other resources into infra blocks. So it's better to expend those resources for infra blocks now. So the reason I am not expending those resources to create hull blocks, because you can also expend basic resources for hull blocks, is you get a lot of hull blocks, a lot of hull scrap, and it's more limitless than the basic resources. Alright, so at this point the recycler is built here. One of the things I should be doing is building a wall. Important to build the wall. If we go to wall, of course, there's a doorway which requires some infra blocks only. I like that, that's easy. We can stick that right here. Cannot build there. I can't build there because it overlaps with a construction area. Oh, that one can only be built at a station. This one, I can build this one here. Then I can go and I can grab a wall, build it here, and there. And I'm actually going to end up cutting off this section from oxygen. Once again, we're going to make it so that no oxygen is present in this area and it will not catch fire. There'll still be accidents, but no fires. It's much better that way. If we come over here and see what we have total, we're going to let her try, and we're at 0.4 steel, so she needs to run 6 more through there. Do I have... oh! It might be just enough. Select all. We have to... don't forget to leave this over. Leave that over as well. Here, hull scrap, we'll see. Now they can't source. We told them do not source any resources. They can't auto source resources from the ship, so they'll only use what they have stock of. So I'll be able to control how much they actually are recycling and producing by how much is over here. So Lenora turns away. Now, I know why she keeps getting more steel. She's literally making it. Alright, I have to transfer the last of the steel, that and that over, and hopefully we won't be wasting anything. Actually, let's just grab everything and transfer it over. None of it needs to be here. I'm going to turn off. This is broken. Entirely broken. There's tools. How come no one's repairing it? They will. Okay, this one's good. It stopped, turning logistics off. I told them continue maintenance over here. Auto maintenance, auto clean, yeah. They should do their maintenance. Over here, we're going to turn on our recycler to start doing everything. Whenever there's scrap, they will try and handle it. The other thing I'll do is over here in the ships, I'll give a slight preference to work over on the station, just so they go and do that. Is someone gonna fix this? Ah, finally. Kaylin came over to work on this. Come on. Amelia, come back. Keep making those infra blocks. We want to burn through all the resources that are still stuck in this inventory. That's not Amelia, it's Lenora, sorry. Lenora has to come do that. Come on. Where is she? Going to take a break. Nice. Taking a break. Working. Close. Ah, she's working over here. We're gonna stop that temporarily. I need her to go back over here and finish her work. You can work the recycler once we leave this sector. Get these infra blocks printed. Ooh, some backup power. Which means I need to transfer one rod back over to get this station not on backup power. In order to run this machinery, it needs to be on the high power net power grid generated by these small nodes or the larger node back on the station, and these only run off the power generator when it's running. They can't run off backup power. If you're on backup power, you don't have the high power system, and that's problematic. Come on. 3 more. Lenora, oh, she's gonna go sleep. We'll get that tomorrow. Day 24. That's fine. We'll get this built, repaired. I'm going to set everyone's priority back to the main ship. Transfer, select all, and send it back. up here. You can see we were able to get the other shuttle bay done. So at this point, we can go relocate one of the mining station shuttles over here, grab the other shuttle bay, relocate it to here, and we will have both of these shuttles. That is a good start. We are almost ready to leave this sector. Took me a little longer than I expected. Select all, transfer it over. Oh, they're in need of everything. So it looks like we have it all. Once all this stuff has been transferred over, we will jump and get out of here. In case you were curious, because I am. So you're gonna go through it regardless. This is what our ship looks like from the top. Kinda weird shape at this point, but I like it. I like the little extra rooms hanging out, weird slot in the middle of it. It's okay. So let's just double check. Nothing. Oh, I did turn the logistics off for these. Or I didn't. I just told them to stop sourcing entirely from any place else, and it effectively turned off the logistics. Alright, well, I'm going to actually turn off the logistics now. Let's see, do they still have anything? They got nothing. So we can, at this point, take a look. If we go to our sketch, I intended this part to be the center of the ship, and I'll mirror this on the other side. Because those blocks aren't available, once I expand this build plane, I'll have to remember to shift the ship all the way to this far wall here and this back here. And then I should have the whole rest of the build plane. I'm taking note of this because the point that you get to actually make that shift is in the jump. Oh, I may not be jumping. I may have another problem. I never built this. I think I can though. The hull stabilizer was never built. I can build it. They have to run back and forth with all the supplies. And as soon as they tell me we've achieved hull stability, both the shuttles are in. If I go to the ship, we're ready to jump. It says it's risky because we're a little overweight, but that's alright. We're going to do it anyway. We're leaving Hephaestus in the hangar, and we're leaving the mining station behind. All of that is according to plan. We are out in the galaxy at this point. The first node we can get to is up here. There is nothing to really see. Cult of New Haven has a ship here. If we come over here, we see this is the first place we can go where there's actually a little bit of activity for us. There's mining resources we can work on. There's some, yeah. There's also apparently a farming station. It's a civilian farming station, presumably. So we're going to head there and see if we can mine up these resources. Now, pull your ship down into this bottom part, expand it to the build plane that you want, and I'm going to shift it over, like I said, all the way here, all the way back. Click it a couple more times just to be sure. Apply. That is the build plane then. I'm going to go and I'm going to plop it right in the center. Equal distance from everything, and hit deploy. So if we at this point go and check the sketch, what we should find is our ship still exists, at least on this half, and we can expand it this way. What we want to do is turn on Y symmetry. We can select part of the ship that we already drew and drag it down, and it's creating symmetry for us automatically, which is nice. So we don't have to worry about trying to count blocks and figure out what we need to do to replicate the ship on the other side. If I go through and do this, do that, should be able to do that. Should be able to go all the way up to here. You see me drawing over my own sketch and hopefully not messing it up. We can see we've got a almost identical pylon already designed over here now. There's just a little bit, apparently, I forgot to fill in. Let's try it here. Let's do it. That looks like it may have done it. Is this section done? No, that one wasn't. Is this section? No, that wasn't. Alright, I think that is pretty close. Oh, there is. I messed up one part of it. That's alright. We're going to erase part of the sketch across from this bar, or across from this gap is a little indent into it, making this 7 wide right there, 7 wide on the interior. We got the same thing there. Alright, looks good. Good enough. So the ship has been fully sketched at this point. It's great. I can build it as I go along. We can go and, oh, we can't mine everything. So we can't collect the basic ore resources because we don't have an ore processor. We'll have to hopefully build one of those shortly. We again can't get some of the ore, again can't get some of the ore. I also left before I built a weapon system again. This is something I do unfortunately rather a lot, and my researchers aren't doing anything. So let me line up some tasks for them. Continue the botany, give them a jukebox, item fabricator, metal refinery, that seemed useful. as does chemical, industrial, and you can line up everything if you want, and it'll just do it when it gets to it. It'll start at the top. If it can't actually research, it'll look for the next thing it actually can. So it's better to line up too much rather than have your researchers sitting around not doing anything. I'm going to restart the recycler. We check our O2 levels. It's a little low in there. It'll get lower as they move in and breathe, and eventually she'll light it on fire. That'll burn up the rest of the oxygen. Over here, what doesn't it like? Oh, I won't worry about that. We've got low humidity, that's good. Temperature wise, we're looking pretty decent. So I would say our ship is in fine shape to go out to the galaxy. Bad environment. Not sure why they think there's a bad environment. Oh, I paused these things. I can go and start them again. Why are the civilians calling? I don't have an ops console, so no functioning ops console. That's funny. Let's grab operations, throw it down, make it high priority, and we will speed along. Hurry, someone build this thing so we can answer the call. I don't even know how we know they're calling. They threw a mission. Let's see what mission. Probably deliver something. Deliver cargo. Yeah, I am not a cargo deliverer. We're going to ignore that for a moment. Someone build this. Build it. Dun, dun, dun. Once they build it, we'll answer their call. Running low on resources. 5 carbon and 3 steel plates. 1,500. Yes. I need money. No problem, David. Enjoy. So the other thing you can do is go and trade with them. Did I click the right thing? I don't know if I clicked the right thing. Trade. And we can see we've got guns we could sell them. Nothing better than being a gun runner. We got fuel. We got soft block. I'm going to sell them 10 soft block. I've got far too much soft block. And what do I want for all that soft block? Well, fertilizer's nice. They're saying I don't have enough money to buy all their fertilizer up. That's okay. We'll do this trade. So I've got a trade going over here, as well as, I want to say, the extra supplies I gave them. Yep. It gives me another 1,500. Can do another trade and just suck up the rest of their fertilizer as well. And I'm not going to sell them any more soft block because they don't value it. So we're going to suck up all their fertilizer before we leave, and that'll help us when we actually get agriculture online. At this point, we are collecting resources. We're collecting water, Hyperium, which is our hyperfuel, and our raw chemicals, which will be useful later on. One of the things we should do is expand. So let's go to Edit, activate the hull, turn off the mirroring. We don't need it at this point. And we can see that if we want another engine, we need at least this much space. That should allow us to put another engine on there and hopefully bring us under the engine mass. And this is what we're going to do. Slowly expand our ship as we move around the galaxy. Oh, I should have checked the high power grid. Move this down. And we can see it is covering everything. You can move it with these little squares down here. Just make sure it's covering the recycler and your engines for quick charging. I think I can move it over to, it should still power the next engine, and this will give me an opportunity to put some turrets over here. Why don't we go and just, before we leave, plan these turrets as well. Point defense turrets. Where are they going to take? Because they're going to take resources. I'd rather. Neat. I always put off point defense turrets for too long, and I really can't. So let's look at the sketch. My turret should probably go here. Back further. Well, looks like I'm gonna fall into old habits. No, I can't. I need the point defense turrets. We're gonna stick them there. And these are high priority. Or at least that one is. We need one. And we got one. Excellent. We're gonna do another high priority construction turret. This will allow us to actually defend ourselves if we come up against some rogue bots flying around attacking our ship. Our point defense will be able to attack them back. Alright, well, that's where I'm going to call this episode. I hope you all have a safe adventure, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.